All right, Ambassador, thank you for being on our show once again.
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, the elections are upon us, and we want to talk about something that I want to call the globalization of national elections. Because as you may have seen, as you've seen surely, from DR Congo to now Venezuela, Nigeria, international observers are keying in, are looking in, trying to see what's going on. So what is this a new thing, or this has always been with us? I mean, you have expertise in this area. Is this something new? Is this something we're going to see more of? The international community being more interested in the national elections of countries?
I think the best way to respond to your question is first to recognize that it is not a globalized situation, in the sense that we don't monitor elections in Germany or Britain or in the United States. So you find that it's probably limited to, quote and unquote, some third world countries, most of them in the African continent and the rest of it. And I think we have to go back in history that at the end of the military era and democracy was taking shape, there was this fear that it might not be free and fair, and in an attempt to give credibility to the elections, the whole question of monitoring, supervising, and observing election became the norm in order to...
A norm amongst Africans or throughout the world? Or?
Both sides. I'm coming to that. Became the norm in which the international actors, wanted to help these countries to achieve democratic practice and ensure that at the end of election, there's some credibility that allows everybody to accept the result of the election. Secondly, and I think this is what also gave them the voice. In some cases, at least we can speak of Nigeria, as I said to a group this morning, they also contributed financially to helping you set up your electoral structures. And they also contributed, or they are contributing even up to today, indirectly through the civil society. So as long as they pay some bills, you can really not tell them not to interfere. The last point is that in most cases, it is the opposition candidates that embraces them, woo them, and encourage them to be involved.
But who invites them in the first place, though?
Nobody officially invites them. But, well, the nation might officially invite them, but let me just take your mind back to 2015 in this country, because it's recent. If you remember, the United States Secretary of State was here twice in 1 month. If you also remember that those who were glad to welcome him all the time were members of the opposition at that time. If you remember how much the opposition at that time embraced...
Which is the APC now.
APC, yes. Quoted. Look, there were pictures in newspapers of APC leaders going to the house of the American ambassador, going to the house of the British ambassador in 2015, almost virtually welcoming their involvement and their intervention. It worked for them. Today, they can't be crying that the foreigners are intervening. But I also make the point, as I said earlier, the people who are intervening provide you some resources as they provided to other countries. They provide training for your staff. They provide training for the CEO and the monitors and the rest of them. In fact, monitoring election has become a big business. And you can see the number of NGOs in this country that where are they getting the funds from? If not from these same people.
Okay, so when we say that, well, when they say that is the foreign observers, if we call them observers, when they say that they were invited, is it? Hold on a second. Is it the government that invites them, or is it political parties?
Probably. Let's go back to 1999, given the circumstances that brought about 1999. As I said, they wanted to give credibility to the election. and comfort to everybody that, yes, Nigeria has arrived, or if you take the DRC, for example,
yes.
This is the first election they will hold in the life of that nation to transfer power peacefully from one government to the other. And so they needed to put some cloth of credibility, to it. Again, as long as you have these people paying or funding some of your structures for the election, they feel courageous enough and strong enough to voice their opposition to what you are doing.
In your mind, does the APC government in Nigeria not, does the government not want foreign observers? From what you see, does it look like they don't want them?
No, it's not that they don't want them, but
what don't they want? When the El Rufai is talking about body bags, which everybody's been citing now, was he threatening them?
There's been so many things that El Rufai has said that people, I don't think people should, there have been so many things El Rufai has said that is very unfortunate, yes. So I don't think, bad as this is, it's just one of those, things you can credit to El Rufai that is unfortunate. But here's my take. As I said, it's not that the government does not want observers.
Okay.
But the APC government or the Buhari administration and the APC,
yeah.
In my life in this country, I've never seen a government that has displayed so much hypocrisy in almost everything. And so, remember what they said in 2015,
yeah.
compared to what they are saying today.
Yeah.
Well, for example, Atiku was a good man. Saraki was a good man.
Yes.
Everybody that went to APC.
Because they were in their party.
Because they went to 2019. They are now the worst villains in this country. Okay. Simply because they left the party of saints to join the angel. But they came from here to here.
Yeah.
And when you hear APC people talk about these people today, they don't remember what they said in 20...
Would you say that that's politics?
No.
Because they're saying that to persuade
in this country, we shouldn't just put it down that this is politics.
What is it then?
It has, for me, it has gone beyond politics.
What is it?
It's hypocrisy, at its worst level.
Okay.
It's also intellectual laziness on the part of the elites who honestly accept this form of propaganda.
Yeah.
Politics is not so... Look, people say politics is bad. No, it is the people in politics that gives politics a bad name. You can't wake me up and say, oh, you are a good man today, and tomorrow you come to me and say the guy is bad. Why? Because he used to come to my house. Now he doesn't come to my house again. Does that make you bad? But you knew the guy was bad. You took my money. You used my money to run an election. You became president and you say I'm corrupt. Does that make sense to you? No. So this is what is going on today, that there's been so many, I don't know, maybe they have not handled their affairs very well. And so there's this fear that this 2019 election could be rigged. And consequently, just like in 2015, the international community is expressing its views that, look, elections... It's not all about, democracy is not all about elections.
Yeah, here's what I think, and I want you to comment on it. I'm thinking that, mostly an incumbent administration runs on its records. And the most important record usually is the economy. If you look at the last 4 years of this administration, 0.9% economic growth rate. The PDP 16 years, 7.6% economic growth rate. If you even do 4 to 4, the first 4 years of the PDP, 6.8% economic growth rate. So if you are APC, what would you say? You got to look for something else. So that's why I say it's politics.